All right, let's play some historic, huh? Green-black Citadel here. So you got Bolas' Citadel. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may play lands and cast spells from the top of your library. If you cast spells this way, pay life rather than their mana cost to cast them. Now, what do we do with this? So, Citadel is sweet for generating card advantage and playing extra lands with something like Dryad. Dryad with Dread Presence is a combo because all of our swamp lands are swamps with Dryad. And then we also have 4 copies of Scapeshift here, which combos in 2 different ways. The first way is that we have good old Field of the Dead here, so you could Scapeshift out a Field of the Dead and a bunch of lands to make some zombies. Or, if we Scapeshift while Dread Presence is out, we have 8, 9, 13, 15, 17 swamps in this deck. So Scapeshift with Dread Presence out is kind of a build our own Valakut, which is great to kill our opponent on the spot. Past that, we've got a little bit other acceleration, Arboreal Grazer. We've got Bond of Flourishing here to help us find our key permanent cards as well as extra lands. We got Heartless Act and Agonizing Remorse, a little bit cheap interaction at the bottom end of our curve. So let's go ahead and dive on into some matches here with this and see how it goes. Red Kreplin, thanks for the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I turned on Arena for the first time in a year and a half and realized what a daunting task building competitive deck is without a single marketplace. It feels like Arena will eventually block out new players due to cost. I think that thought shows a fundamental misunderstanding of how the Arena economy works. And I don't think that's your fault. I think the Arena economy is kind of convoluted. But I think if you understand how the Arena economy works, it's actually very easy and very elegant to be able to build decks on, and it does a good job of letting you build the decks that you want to build. It's actually incredibly easy to build decks on Magic Arena. You put your credit card in and you buy gems, and then you buy a bunch of booster packs, and then those booster packs come along with a bunch of wild cards, and then you import the deck you want to build and hit craft all. So instead of buying singles directly, you buy wild cards via buying booster packs, and your wild cards come with a bunch of freebies. Arena economy is drip feed with a slightly large upfront cost depending on how fast you want to complete the complete access to come. Yeah, I agree. The way the Arena economy is designed is very clever, honestly. The Arena economy is designed in a way that your nth deck is always cheaper than your n-1 deck. So your second deck is always cheaper to build than your first deck, your third one's cheaper than the second, etc. And the reason why that works that way, this is awkward. The reason why that works that way is because of how the wildcard system works and how you incidentally acquire extra cards while you're buying wildcards to get the decks you want. Also, you kind of plateau on money spent on Arena. I spend $100 on a set and never have issues playing whatever I want. Correct. Yeah, it takes about 200 packs per set to complete a set. And if you're playing Arena regularly, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna have enough gold from dailies and stuff to build other stuff out. It's basically the TLDR. Think we're dead, chat. Think we're dead. Yeah, their draw was super aggressive. Agree. There are definitely a number of more consumer-friendly things Wizards of the Coast could do to make it cheaper to get into Magic Arena. But I'm going to give you the blunt truth like I always do, folks. The reason why they don't make it more consumer-friendly is because they don't have to. It's more profitable for them to be less consumer-friendly. Someone in chat talking about Legends of Runeterra and how that game is more generous. I believe you, but you need to be more generous than the competition to break into an established market with a new product. Magic has 25 years of history to build on. They don't have to be the cheapest in the market. I know that's not like what a lot of people want to hear, but it's like the truth of the matter, right? I think I'm bottoming. Yeah, we were just talking about that with the Epic Game Store, where the Epic Game Store is giving away games for free to get people onto their platform to try and break them away from Steam where they're used to playing. Let's like what Mario said with Double Legends. Why did it cost more? Because it can. Yep, that's exactly correct. It costs more because it can cost more. I did not check daily deals yet today. We'll do that at some point. Ooh, that's a good draw. Please don't Meddling Mage me, opponent. Epic Game Store isn't giving game devs more of a cut out of the kindness of their heart. Epic Game Store is giving game devs more of a cut because they have to do things like give them more of a cut to try and break into the established market like Steam. It's all just business, chat. These are all giant companies and all they do is want your money. Be a little greedy and draw a card here. Got punished, was hoping to draw another land. Really want to draw a removal spell here. Sick. Whew! Moments before the accident, chat. Moments before the accident. Ooh, baby, baby. Ooh, baby, baby. Goodbye, friends. Oh, I could have done this too, right? I could have had another trigger there. That's fine. Everything's gonna be alright. Do 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 do. Punished. Should have held on to the trophy. Zikta, thanks for the 19 months. The old third deputy. How many differently named lands do I have? 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, but I drew extra cards to get my deputies. Thank you very much. Please don't have the 4th deputy, opponent. Hey, Ravy Baby. Thanks for continuing your sub-gift, D. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Let's keep Marty Yorin in tomorrow's deck. Sounds good, Manjui. They'll get added after I'm done streaming today, as always. So, sans another deputy, we're in a very good spot. Hey, K9, thanks for the 17 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Hey, look, Chad, a Schwamp. Yeah, I think I have that boarded. Extra removal spells. Easy keep. Acceleration / blocker. Removal spell. Eventual way to go over the top. Although, it is worth noting our Field of the Dead Zombies actually aren't that good in this matchup, so hopefully we draw a Dread Presence to grab swamps with this to mow down their board. Which of my 6 removal spells would you like to name? Probably the one I have in hand. Dryad, sure. Alright, I would like to end your Legion, please. Whew! Got the bonus one out of the hand, chat. You love to see it. Harsh but fair. Harsh but fair. Actually made a small mistake last turn. I played my swamp out, and I should have played my non-swamps out. Again, hold the swamp for post-dread presence. We are 1 land away from Scapeshifting into zombies. You need 6 other. You need 7 differently named lands, so we need to get 7 lands total before we Scapeshift to make some friends. Okay, and then this means that these Scapeshifts will get to draw a bunch of cards next turn, which is great. Draw cards and kill things. Yep, so we sack all of these, and we'll get Field of the Dead and a bunch of differently named swamps. A couple of non-swamps, too. Make some zombies, draw some cards. This one's super reasonable. This is one of the many fantastic historic decks that you can find up on my website. And if you haven't seen my website, I took the time to go through and do some organization here yesterday, because we're starting to get a lot of historic decks up here. So there's some search features over here. You can search based on power level, color, or archetype. So jeffhoagland.com, click historic decks at the top. Great resource for all of your historic needs, chat. Yeah, seems reasonable against Yorion. Reasonable in general, really reasonable against a slower deck like Yorion. McEmbe, thanks for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome. Did I change his day? I spent my day off yesterday working on that. Yeah, the standard, Pioneer, and Modern pages on my website, technically the URLs are still live. But they're not maintained anymore. Yeah, that's accurate. It's more of a day not live than a day off. Anybody else out there who's self-employed knows that days off are, generally speaking, few and far between. I am not alone in that. Let Teferi know how I feel about him. It didn't do the bonk. I'm so upset that it didn't bonk Teferi.
Let's try this.
0 power things don't bonk anymore. Oh, we're gonna get Luca next turn and die. They only bonk players? I thought they used to bonk planeswalkers too. Am I misremembering?
Here we go.
I like the site improvements. Thank you. Thanks for the biddies, Bluefire. Yeah, I'm hoping we're going to be in Historic for the long haul, and hopefully we'll get to a point where there are dozens of Historic decks up there before long. Alright, sweet. So they're dead? Are they dead? Not quite. Let's start with this and see what happens. You can float all mana with a hotkey, double Q. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's definitely a thing. Hey, look, chat. Hey, look, chat. Did they die? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're not quite dead. but it's close. Okay, so because I can't kill them with this, I think I want to kill their token to prevent them from drawing Luca, and I want to kill their Teferi. And then I'm going to draw some cards here. Oh, I forgot about the Citadel activation. I'm dumb. It's been a while. Okay, I missed lethal. The Citadel activation with the zombies was lethal. Yeah, I forgot. It's been a hot second, chat.
That is hardly my worst defeat.
Okay, so I could have shot. And they're mousing over this, realizing that I made a mistake now. That's fine. It doesn't look like we're gonna get punished. Could get punished. Wait, they had Luca and didn't do it last turn? Oh, maybe they must have drawn it, right? They must have drawn it. Without the Citadel activation, they were going to be They're going to be dead in 2 with all at the face. Yeah. Correct. Duress is good here. Some instant speed interaction is good. Heartless Act's not very good. I think we trim Grazer, because we're generally speaking not just racing. We want a little bit more interaction. A little expensive for killing fires. Maybe I'd rather have Return to Nature for killing fires. Leave one of those. Links are enabled in chat. The general rule of thumb for this chat is act like an adult, you'll be treated like an adult. Act like a child, you'll be put in the corner for a timeout like a child. How the deck's been so far today. We had an okay modern deck to start. Moto was the dumpster fire. Because Moto downtime is awful, but it's actually going okay so far. First historic deck of the day. Take Luca here. Yeah, we're aware. We've been... In fact, if you look at that link, Eradiz, like, I'm literally one of the top comments on it. My response to that tweet has like 200 likes. I'll act like the president, which is to say like a child. Yep. We bottom the backup Scapeshift here. They don't have that many counterspells really post-board. I think we're cycling this Triome at this point. Now, one thing that's worth noting is that our deck is not good at enabling Field of the Dead naturally. Our deck has a lot of both swamps and forests in it, as you see here, so we double up on those. So in the games where we draw a field naturally like this, we're not turning it on usually. This solely exists as a way to do something with Scapeshift. Wonder if we're going to see them scry here with one of their omens. No, okay, so again, this is Honestly, this draw to me really highlights just how strong the opponent's archetype is, because people talk about, you know, how good Luca and stuff like that is. Well, you just get rid of the Luca. Well, the opponent's archetype is good without their Luca, right? Like, they literally just get to, like, make 4 more tokens here and draw another card, and, like, even without Luca, we're pretty far behind at this point. Like, their deck is just such a good backup plan past their strong combo-like starts. Washta Warrior, thanks for the tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Okay. I'm not dead yet. Thanks for the historic stuff, Jeff. I've been off standard since around M20, but this has been a great breath of fresh air, and the opens have been marvelous. Thanks for 17 months, Symbol. I appreciate that. Dead to a stiff breeze here, but not dead on board at least. So we got that going for us. Maelstrom Pulse, Assassin's Trophy. Maelstrom Pulse, Assassin's Trophy. The upcoming PT is standard. The Invitational that's happening in August is historic. Not that I blame you for being confused, because, well, you know, Watsy decisions. First ever sub to the channel. Happy to support you, Jeff, and looking forward to playing the next Open. Awesome, Warrior. Glad to have you here. Neoforming Hanged Executioner into Indatha is sweet. Yeah, it sounds sweet. Sounds pretty good. Isn't Wilt 3 mana, or am I misremembering? Oh, it is just 2. Yeah, Wilt's probably better. See if we can get a little greedy and get them here. Yeah, Steel Dingleberries. That's why you don't even, if you go on the wizard status there and you click through to mine, I've blocked a bunch of people that had medium opinions on things underneath it. Like, I don't have time for you people. I have beat Teferi in a game before, therefore it is fine. Is a heck of a take. I'm actually gonna draw a card with this because I want to make my land drops. Perfect. Enters tapped. Now I think I'm electing to kill Meddling Mage. Had to be a troll. No, they were genuine. They forget to fetch with Fabled Passage? They just already had the other land rolled up. Hopefully this mystery card isn't a sweeper here. Ideally, this is not a sweeper. Deal.
Right on schedule. Trust me, I have a plan.
Don't mind me, just casting some spells off the top of my deck. Bolas' Citadel getting to flex here a little bit and show some of its power, especially alongside Dryad, which lets us play extra lands. So we have 8 lands in play here, so we get to go Dread Presence, Scapeshift, kill you. The old build your own Valakut. You love to see it, chat. You love to see it. You prefer this configuration to the Citadel / Explorer package? Yes, that's why I'm playing this configuration. The game's float mana. I do not think the Explorer package does a lot for this deck. I haven't seen this deck before. This is sick. If you're someone at home who's thinking like Jake the Man, who hasn't seen this deck before and think it is sick, you need to check out my website, jeffhoagland.com. This is one of the many awesome historic decks you can find up there. Just spent a bunch of time updating the website yesterday, so it has some wonderful search features. Take the time to use it, please. Yep, this is a keep. I think I'm bottoming the Scapeshift from now. Predictions on ban and restricted on the 6th. Let's make a command for that. Alright, bans. If WotC is smart, they're banning Teferi everywhere. If they aren't, they're banning something from Winota in Historic and something else in Standard. Good. I think that's accurate. That's how I feel. Obosh Island, probably the blue-red tempo deck, which likely means... do I want this Arboreal Grazer? I'm not actually sure that I do. I guess it blocks flying stuff. Next turn, I could go Dryad into this, play another land, but that doesn't do anything. I don't have a payoff at the moment. I think banning something from Winota would be an incredible mistake in Historic, but that also probably means there's a reasonable chance they do it. I mean, to be fair, for a long time, Grasp Marauders was a garbage bulk rare. Are you using that? What if I did that? I think I'm drawing a card here. I don't think I really need to kill the Storm Tamer. Can we instead inject Path to Exile? Stop it. Get some help. Shango Bengo, thanks for the quarter of a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Whenever I post a status, like the one I just posted, asking or making the suggestions that Wizards of the Coast manage their ban list slightly differently than they do, it's always a good reminder at how bad many people are at having reading comprehension. I just blocked an idiot who was like, Wizards of the Coast said they wanted to give people advance notice on Wanted to give people advance notice on bannings when my status is literally suggesting we give people notice. Thought it's honestly impressive. Could get Lookout's Dispersal here. Only have 3 mana up. Yep. I think this matchup's actually quite bad for us, most likely, but the fact that they bricked off there for a little while is obviously very good. It's a matchup where the Bolas Citadels all come out, because they're not particularly great. We don't want a lot of really expensive spells in this matchup, I don't think. I want to bring in a bunch of my removal spells here. I think I actually want to trim Bond of Flourishing here, because you'll note that I'm bringing in a lot of cards that Bond of Flourishing doesn't hit. I mostly want to turn into kind of a 1-for-1 control deck that eventually wins the game with Dread Presence or Scapeshift in this matchup, I think. I'm going to trim an Agonizing Remorse. I think I'm going to trim a land in this matchup. Let me get rid of one of the Triomes. Is the play. How's my day so far? It's been pretty good, Danon. This is one I really like this historic deck. I don't know if it's necessarily top tier, but it's a lot of fun and definitely capable of winning plenty of matches. Which is all you could really ask for. Keep this bottom field of the dead, I think. Perfect. Get to play this without hurting myself. Get to play Arboreal Grazer. They ban something on Monday, will it be instantly? Usually bannings they announce on Monday take place the following day. I also think, and I tweeted this one last night, is that the fact that Wizards of the Coast timing on their bans is just so atrocious. Like, it's so wild to me that the company that controls when their events happen and what goes on the ban list when times things so poorly. I was considering playing in the Arena Open this weekend once or twice, but with the format being a dead format come Monday, there's 0% chance I do that now. They should have had standard bans happen this past week. So that way they would be in effect for this weekend. Do I give them a land to trophy them? They decided they're done playing. Yeah, and this is really like, this deck's like a mid-range combo deck, a combo ramp deck. Being able to board into something that's incredibly interactive and also has the combo kill at the top end is a lot of fun. Okay, people have mentioned the pack rat sleeve a couple times, so I'm gonna poke in here and look at it now. Magic Arena. I get my free gold for the day. That is very pretty. General's Enforcer. Yep, take my money. I don't think this is one we play enough to be worth my 500 gems. This is one General's Enforcer we're definitely going to go back and forth on. I have enough sleeves that I probably won't use this, so I'm going to hold on to my pennies for now. I would love a sleeve randomizer. If there was an option to put a random sleeve for my collection on my deck for every match, I would snap use it and get to rotate through the variety of things that I have. Would be a big use on my part. This hand needs to draw a bunch of lands. My deck is land heavy, so hopefully we hit. How much would I pay for a sleeve randomizer? Some amount of money. I would pay some amount of money for a sleeve randomizer. See some folks in chat using the pause command. I just want to mention that at least once during each deck as well for people that are watching on YouTube. I am putting a hold on accepting more deck submissions at this time. With the reason for that being I don't want a bunch of things sitting in the deck queue when I take a week or two off when Haley gets here. So I think we've got, when I signed on this morning, there were 23 decks in the queue. So even without taking in more, we're probably going to have a few that wait around. Because she could be here at any day now. Three Smackies, thanks for the half a year. This deck and the way people respond to it in chat is a really good example of why trying to give credit on building or owning deck ideas just really doesn't work out in Magic. A lot of people have been saying, this is Croaky's deck, this is Croaky's deck, and like, one, this archetype in general is ported directly from Pioneer and Modern. Two, it was running around in Historic before Croaky's ever touched the format. So again, the idea of deck ownership is something that I've talked about in the past. I think it's very silly in games like Magic in general. And I think trying to track the ownership of decks like this is a good example of why it's silly. Can I give you full ownership of the bust? No, I'm not a hypocrite. I think it's silly in general. You shouldn't give anyone, myself included, ownership of any individual or particular idea. I think it's nonsense. Yes, even Lantern Control had a lot of different people that worked on it. Probably did here. Yeah, deep building is often a deeply collaborative effort. Big agree. Let me give you ownership of the idea of not giving ownership, yo dog. Yeah, I think a good thing, and some of this to a degree is semantics, but you know, I definitely greatly prefer the term popularized. I think popularized is a much better term that I wish more people would use rather than saying someone owns or originated a deck idea. I think saying that someone popularized a deck is a lot more accurate into what people actually mean when they talk about someone owning a deck idea. Someone mentioned Kiki Cord in chat. I wasn't the first person to figure out Kiki Jiki and Restoration Angel combo, and that Chord of Calling was the best tutor for them in that format at the time. I certainly optimized Kiki Cord, and I championed it and popularized it, but like saying that like I own that deck idea, yeah, influence is a good word. I mean, we call people like streamers and people on Twitch and Twitter influencers, right? Like, when people are trying to credit deck ideas, like, the first person to put up a big result or a popular streamer to play it is a person who often gets credit, right? And like I said, the things, for that reason, I think popularized is much better jargon to use. hand needs some lands again, but it's got 2 removal spells. It's got Bond of Flourishing this time to find another land. And it's got some quality 2 force here. The body on Dryad is incredibly relevant in a matchup like this. Have this happen plus a lightning strike here, probably. Wizard's lightning, rough. Alpine Moon, sure. So Scapeshift for zombies off the table. Scapeshift for other things very much on the table. Scapeshift for Dread Presence. I have to take the land here, unfortunately. Maybe I'm supposed to take the Dread Presence and then just play Grazer this turn. So they have a Firebrand in here they can bring back with this. This card is not super great against the pile of lands that our deck plays, which is nice. This is my 2-4. This is my 0-3. Go. Game 1, when we have Scapeshifts and Citadels in our deck clunking things up, these aggro matchups are hard. Definitely a lot more winnable post-board when we get to board some of that out and have more efficient removal spells and 1-for-1s. So you get to play Luris here, and then still play Firebrand out of their bin, which is sweet. Or not. This attack is interesting. It's like open a high roller removal spell here, I guess. Yeah, opponent's deck just mono red Luris. It's an archetype that we've seen. It's an archetype that's seen play in basically every format where Luris has been legal non-rotating wise. Am I interested in Heartless Acting this and then trophying this? I think so. We did play quickly, Float Mana. I appreciate you. Always love folks who play Magic close to as quickly as I do. Crunch. Scapeshifts looking awkward here. Opponent deciding to pack it in anyways. Deal. We take those. I think I'm happy with how he sideboarded. I'm gonna go ahead and run it back. It might not be competitive, but there's something sickly satisfying about Phyrexian Obliterator with Fight. I see your 14/14 Primate raise, you go for blood. Dice I find. Bye, guy. Thanks for the 23 months. Welcome back. Do you ever play a dead Scapeshift just to thin your lands in a game like that? Yeah, maybe. And more importantly than thinning, you can fetch your Temple to Scry, which is more valuable. Fetching Temple to Scry is not irrelevant. This hand's close. It doesn't have any of our blockers in it, but it's got a couple of removal spells. It's got plenty of lands. It's got Bond of Flourishing to dig a little bit. Perfect. That's exactly what we were looking for. Like, Dryad rounds this hand out pretty ideally, he says, before he gets Robber of the Rich. You drew Luke off the Shark Typhoon. Yeah, it makes sense. Goodbye, friend. Do I get the second one? Do I get the bonus? That's no bonus. And hey, they didn't robber me. That's great. You love to see it. Delete Teferi. Indeed, Zephyr. Thanks for the 12 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. All right, and they have a Dread presence in exile there. So let's end this Robber's Legion here right quick. We don't get to cast that. Put this into play tapped. And notably, Legions end exiling these things, so they're not coming back with the Kit Kat here anytime soon. Looking for Dryads and lands here. Castle Garenberg is basically just a differently named land in this deck. Basically just an awkward forest. For people wondering why that's there. So they must have a shock in their hand. Or maybe they just have a deal 3. They could have a deal 3 plus this. Sure. And I had this Maelstrom Pulse here to deal with Alpine Moon. So if we hit running lands... was like, this was easily the worst draw in our deck. I'm gonna go ahead and Maelstrom Pulse this, so this way if we draw a tapped land next turn, we can Scapeshift. This does get punished by them drawing a second Alpine Moon, though. So we get to make 7 zombies there, which looks like it's gonna be good enough. Yes, this is a good one. I like the Citadel deck. I like it a lot. See, it's great. Hey, Mr. Maple Syrup. Yeah, survey command still in chat, by the way, too, in addition to the pause command. I'm going to be... Friday will probably be the last day that I take a peek at and tabulate stuff from the sub-survey. So if you're someone who's a member of Hooglandia that would like to make your voice heard on various things, or just help me collect data on what people who pay me would like to see, I appreciate everybody that takes the time to do that. As of right now, it looks like there are 958 responses, and my channel currently has 2,694 unique subscribers. So I believe in you, chat. You could do it. Help me get the data. I'm gonna take this opportunity to stick Dread Prisons. Dizzy B, thanks for the happy hour. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Better than the voting rate. It is. It is. We're at like 40% or so, which is not terrible. Can be better. Usually we end up about that. Usually like 700 to 1,000 responses is what I get. Land. 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 Frustrating. Any land there would have been insane with Dryad in hand. I don't think they play actual factual shocks. I think this attack's a free roll. And I mean, and for reference, if you've never peeked at my surveys before, if you're someone that doesn't really have a strong opinion on the content that I do here, there is an option on the survey for I like everything, or I don't care, and that collecting that data is also meaningful for me. So if you're someone who's thought about not giving feedback because you like everything that I do, it is valuable to me as a creator to hear I like it all. Hey chat, moments before the disaster here. I think this is how we boarded last time. I boarded out these. I'm boarding in discard and removal against their tempo deck. You cut Citadel in all of the aggro matchups, which I know we've trimmed this card a number of times today, but I think it's still right to start it in the main deck. I think having this much interaction game one means you're going to lose a lot of matchups where your interaction's just not good. So I think being more linear game one and then boarding into your ideal interaction works well. There's 13 basics, enough for Fabled Passage, since those can tap for mana with Dryad. Maybe? Yeah, I could see putting some Fabled Passages in here. Maybe Passage is better than Castle Garenberg. Like, we've been talking about how Castle Garenberg's basically just an extra land in here. Maybe it's like a castle and a swamp out and get a couple of Fabled Passages in. We're gonna play at least one more match after this. Let's try some Fabled Passage. I think that's a good idea. I don't know. I want to make some raid videos, Beansy. Like, I want to do a couple of champion guides for champions that I like and have built well. But I don't think I'm gonna make enough content to qualify for any of their freebie stuff. Tan might be a little bit too slow in the draw. Let's find out. Yeah, I think getting a couple of Fabled Passages in here seems super reasonable. Especially with the addition of the Triomes. So the Triomes increased the volume, the total number of swamps in this deck, which is nice. So we could probably give up some of the basic swamps because we gain swamps in other places. Vomit. Alright, so they're all in. Have to draw a 2-mana removal spell here. Legion's End, Trophy, Heartless Act. If we do that, we're in the game. If we don't, we're probably dead in the spot. Graph Digger's Cage. This stopped Citadel from working, but we boarded Citadel out, so it's like, whatever. And Scapeshift, right? No, this stops creatures from entering from the battlefield. This does not do anything against Scapeshift. Goodbye, friend. It just worked. We're whitelisted. Right? Alright, I think I hold this other land so I can guaranteed have a land post-Dread Presence. Signo, thanks for the 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Keeping me around. Hopefully they cast Obosh here. Was hoping they'd Obosh so we could Pulse plus Scapeshift. Meh. We're one land off of Scapeshift being able to make zombies. Don't mind me. Just beating you down with Dryad of the Grove. So they have enough mana here that they can play Obosh plus hold up a 3-mana counterspell still. Alright, what are you doing over there? Have you just like bricked off? Do you have burn spells in your hand? What's the deal? Sea Dasher, sure. Just a bunch of bricks. Got it. Alright, let's try a couple of Fabled Passages, huh? Sounds pretty reasonable. A vanilla 2/4 for 3 powerhouse of the history of Magic, right? Cut the castle and swamp. Update the deck list. Hey, we have a very generous gift from Flumbub. These are codes for the Bitter Blossom sleeve from the Secret Lair. So if you would like Bitter Blossom sleeves on Magic Arena, there's a few codes in chat there for them. First come, first serve. They are single use. Fight. CG Silvestro, thanks for the quarter of a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Loris. Double Scapeshift kind of sucks here, but Bond into Dryad's pretty good if they're playing aggro. T-Banks, thanks for 13 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Triome bringing Woodland into play untapped here is excellent. I would bet money on a Teferi ban, and that would be very sad when I lose my money, right? A Spell Pierce? Yikes. Okay. Looks like Grixis tempo. Yep. Okay. Alright, well, let's kill that one before we can't kill it, huh? Would like to just draw lands for our next 4 cards. Step 1, accomplished. For once, we want huge tracts of land. I mean, statistically speaking, we should be a favorite to find them, right? We play 28 lands in our deck. He says before he bricks off and dies. We're incredibly likely to hit here, I scream as I brick and brick and brick. You can always find speculation on bans, as well as my thoughts after the fact by typing ! bans in our chat. Yeah, Tail's End is something. I don't know what, but it's definitely something. Opponent has the Pack Rat sleeve that are on sale via Daily Deal today. They're super cute. Yeah, counter Citadel, I'm aware, that's what I checked when I looked at it, but like, I'm gonna die to them drawing 3 cards a turn 2. You've butchered my name. Listen, F number 3 M number 1 underscore 0 underscore B. When a name is set up like your current name, you get what you get, and you be happy about it, okay? You did this to you. There is no one else to blame. I expected that. God bless. God bless us, everyone. So we do not get zombies here. I am aware that I do not get zombies here. Just thinning some crap out of my deck and scrying one. I am extremely pleased with how Pinksker in Illinois has handled the pandemic response for my state. He has been incredibly proactive with things. He was one of the first states to implement a lockdown. A lot of people have talked about, to compare to other governors, a lot of people have credited the New York governor with his response, and I actually think he was really slow. Like, he waited until they had a lot of cases to start locking things down, and the governor of Illinois was incredibly proactive with what he did here, and I was very happy that he was proactive with it. With what's occurring right now, having a response before it's too late was really important, and saves a lot of lives. So I think I'm actually going to bring in the Noxious Grasp here, because while it only kills Duress, they always have Duress, so boarding in one of these seems okay. Yeah, if you're someone that wants people on Twitch to pronounce your username correctly, get the leech speak out of your name and camel case it. Like, if you look at my Jeff Hoagland username, you'll notice the H is capitalized in Hoagland, and so is the J in Jeff. Float mana, exactly. Float mana is great. Can you change your username after it's split up? You definitely can. You can change it all together. Did you do it right? DTC, perfectly readable. The X is pronounced versus. Do I keep this? I feel like the answer is no. You think I can get the 7 back? I think if I ask really nicely, they'll give me the 7 back. What if I speculatively keep this and then just hope to draw lands, I think is the answer. Like, hope to go 3, 4, 5. Underscores over camel casing. Mr. Maple Syrup, that also works, I agree. Yeah, this whole thing in general has been a solid reminder that your local and state elections really matter too. Like, for example, the city of Bloomington, in which I live in Illinois, they made the very smart decision that all of the public pools in Bloomington will be closed this summer. So again, your health and safety and things that impact your lives, there's not just the presidency. Your Congress people, your mayor, your governor, your state representatives in Wisconsin, state representatives screwed people there after the governor instituted a very reasonable stay-at-home order. All of these things really matter. When your elections come up in the fall, regardless of where you live in the United States, take an hour or two and Google all of your state and local people that are running. I don't think anybody's going to know them all offhand, but taking the time to find out who they are could impact your life in a very positive way. Or not caring and having the wrong people get elected could impact it in a very negative way. The general election's also less than half a year away. I'd encourage everybody to make sure you're registered to vote wherever you live and inquire as to whether or not your state is providing mail-in ballots. And if they're not providing an option to vote by mail for everyone, I would encourage you to start nagging your representatives now to make that happen. Yeah, they're not bright, Mask. They're not bright. Yes, make sure your address is correct, because that's disqualifying in some states if it's not. Yep. You know what? Maybe because they're a Yorion deck, I was supposed to bottom the Grazer and keep the extra land is very possible here. Against a more controlling deck, I think that's true a lot of the time. You could be disqualified over a clerical issue? Yes. So what you need to understand, if you're not from the United States, is that Donald Trump's party, the GOP or Republican Party, they managed to stay in power through gerrymandering and oppressing people from voting, because when people vote, Republicans, generally speaking, don't win. Sounds good, Humbert. All dressed up with nowhere to go here. Yeah, I definitely should have bottomed the Grazer and kept the extra land. If I draw a Citadel here, I can't currently cast it. And again, this is one of the valuable things that companions do. Letting you have information game one can be useful if you pay attention to it. Don't bring historical data into this, right? His opponent is a Luca away from stealing our toys. We're a land plus a Citadel away from getting to do stuff. Fabled Passage actually looking quite good here. Gets to hang out and play until we draw a Dread Presence, which would be nice. I think I'm cycling this. Looking forward to standard bans. Me too, Big Z Wine. Me too. I think I'm holding this land in my hand at this point because if I draw a Dread Presence, it'll draw us an extra card to deal some damage. I'm keeping my health. I'm chump blocking aggressively here, or defensively, I guess, depending on how you look at it. So that way, if I draw a Citadel, I have the most life possible to play with off the top of my deck. I am going to go ahead and put this into play tapped here rather than holding 2 lands because I would like to be able to cast Citadel without cracking this fetch land, I think. Do you like to see anything unbanned in Standard? No, I don't think unbanning anything in Standard solves any problems. I haven't been attacking with my 2/4s. I should be attacking with my 2/4s here. Mostly just been clicking and kind of sighing internally that we're drawing lands. I don't think Veil of Summer... I think... you could ban Teferi and leave Agent legal if you unban Veil, but Veil's also Rancid, so I'm pretty okay with leaving it banned.
I've got time.
John Stradamus, thanks for the Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Something, and this is actually something I haven't talked about yet, is if they ban something in Historic after just a week, what on God's green earth prevented them from banning in Standard after just a week? Like, how can they possibly justify waiting so long to react in Standard when they're gonna react and change something in Historic after just a week of HA3? So like which is it? Did you need more time, or did you not need more time? Alright, if we draw Dread Presence and then draw Scapeshift, we can kill them. It's a really, really frustrating game. Sometimes you flood and die, chat. It's just how the cookie crumbles. That's true. I am hoping that's the optimistic outtake. The optimistic outtake is that after they banned... The optimistic outtake is after... God bless America. The optimistic outtake is after they ban Luca in Standard, they're just like preemptively banning it in Historic. Whoo! This is where the magic happens, chat. This is where the magic happens. Come sail away, come sail away, come sail away with me. Do 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 do. Is it more correct to ban Luke himself or his payoffs like Agent? I would rather ban Agent of Treachery. I also think from the perspective of selling their latest set, it makes business sense for them to ban the card that's rotating in the fall anyways, as opposed to banning a card from their latest set. today's been fun. The modern deck okay was this morning, and this archetype is what I really love playing. It's been a good set. Oh, I messed up here. I forgot we were drawing a land. I could have gone Dryad into Duress. I guess I get to double Duress now. Gosh, what are we double Duressing? Vomit. I think it's just Teferi. I think I'm leaving them the sweeper. Delete. We'll do our part and delete Teferi ourselves. It's been some time since I heard a Hoagland rant. Welcome back to Hoaglandia, Big Mama Miracle. All right, I think I want to slow things down here, and I'm gonna hold this for post-Dread Presence. Well, the good news is they can't Luca us next turn. Any land, please. Sick. I assume Dread Presence is about to get Justice Struck here. Maybe I'm supposed to hold back Dryad so they can't attack me with the 1/1s on the ground for free. If they shatter, I think that's actually pretty okay for us, because then they're losing their tokens. You did the thing. Thanks for the quarter of a year click. I appreciate the support. Welcome back.
I'm known for my excellent timing. Don't worry, I got this.
Interesting that they bounced the Presence rather than bouncing the Dryad and just striking the Presence. Filled out the survey, and you should too. Thanks for the support, Scruff McGruff, and thanks for taking the time to fill out the sub-survey. I appreciate it. Alright, so we have a good chance to kill them next turn, right? We have Dread Presence plus a bunch of lands here. Our deck's got a ton of swamps in it. I guess if they go land Luca, they could take 2 of our lands away. Is your mystery card Luca, or are you dead? Mystery card's not Luca, chat. And you're dead. I actually really like Luca's design. I think it's doing some sweet things. I think in a card pool where Luca's design ends up being this really sweet Timmy card, it's pretty great. I think with Agent of Treachery, it's pretty rancid. But in general, like, Luca cheating something like Ulamog into play, I think it's something sweet and reasonable. Yo, Glandia, I have been on deployment and not able to see much live, but the YouTube stuff's been keeping me sane. I'm glad my subscription kept up. Thanks for the great stuff. Hey, stay safe out there. Into the frozen sky. I appreciate the support. Well then. Guess we'll take this. One of these things is not like the others. Luca's -2 should only hit non-tokens. Sure. Yeah. Time Lord, thanks for the 24 months. Welcome back. I think that's I think only hit non-tokens is a super reasonable take. Our hand's very good here for a matchup like this. Let's get Linnea. Linnea. I want to get Linnea. Let's get into Linear. Will you shatter my sky? My sky, will you shatter my sky? Let's make sure auto-ordered triggered abilities are not on. Let's go ahead and play this. Let's scry before we draw. I assume they're going to Justice Strike this in response, but that's really not a big deal. I've got Witch's Cottage and Bolas' Citadel here. We can just do that. Actually, was it a mistake to play this? Am I supposed to wait to play this next turn after I Citadel? Yeah, I think so. People can get banned for breaking an NDA. Is it possible to trick Teferi into breaking one? Asking the real questions. I feel like we've been getting ghosted this game. Like, they conceded earlier when we didn't have them deterministically dead, and they're like looking like they're gonna take a land tier as opposed to our Dryad. Like, it feels like they know we don't have another land in our hand. Could just be me being a little bit salty, but their concession earlier combined with this take here feels bad. Alright, I usually like to end on a high note. We've been playing this one for almost 90 minutes, so I think we're going to go ahead and call it a set. I think I'm happy with where we ended up here for the most part. I think I like this configuration. I think the addition of Fabled Passage... makes a lot of sense here. Especially with... One of the reasons why I hadn't included this earlier is because I wanted to keep our swamp count high, and I think with the addition of Triomes, I didn't reconsider this card, because these help keep our swamp count up. If you haven't seen this deck before, this is one of the many awesome decks that you can find up on my website, just to plug that a bunch today. I took a bunch of time yesterday to get my site updated. I categorized. I think there's 18 historic decks up here right now, and you can search by power level, by color, by archetypes, and as this format continues to develop and mature, and we play lots of sweet decks on this stream, I'm going to be piling more and more decks up here, so it's a great resource to find lots of decks for this format. Alright, speaking of lots of great decks in this format, and this is one that actually, if we have a good run with this is probably going to make it up there under the meme section, because it's kind of funny. We're going to blow some people's lands up here next. So I'm going to hit a quick ad roll, and we'll be back in just a few. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. Don't go anywhere.